This one, we're going to do a little simple programming in C#.NET, the way Microsoft likes it. So you have to install Visual Studio, which will already be on the machine if you got it from me. Otherwise, you can download it and install it. We're using the free Community Edition, and it doesn't matter which version you have. The latest version is 2022, and that's fine. All right, so once you've got it installed, then create a new project, and we want to find this one, Console App, and it's easy to find the wrong one. Console App to run on .NET. So let's create a new project. Okay, and Console App.NET, there it is. I think this is it. Good. There are a lot of things with similar names. It's easy to get confused and open the wrong one. The default name is fine, and the default directory is fine. And there are different versions of .NET. I'm just going to take the default because I don't really care, .NET 8, which is fine. There are many versions just like Java, and you often have to go install the particular version to make it run on your machine. Again, make apps run on your machine, again, just like Java. Microsoft has successfully reproduced the functionality and the flaws of Java. Anyway, here we are. It automatically creates a console app with console write line hello world. And let me check my instructions and make sure this is the right one. It is. Okay. This is the version I'm using, CS, which I think is C#. I'm not sure. It's some version of C. And this one, you just need one line to write to the console. You don't need the main function header and importing a library and all that jazz that you would in other versions of C. So this is the language. And so now it's created, let's get rid of this garbage. It's created a program, and you can run it with the run button. This will compile and run it in a debugger. So here it is showing you the build has started. And it's a console app. So here it is popping up a console, and then that's a toolbox. I thought I might be able to see the console, and there it is. The console's there. It keeps vanishing. All right, there we go. So there it is saying hello world. That's all I wanted to see, and here I can press any key to close this window. All right. So that means I have everything installed and it's able to make a simple app. So now we'll make an app here that reads a line from the console and plays it back. And run that. All right, so now it's ready to read something. So if I say hello there, it says, you said hello there. So now I can read from the user and I can print something back, and I press enter to close it. All right. And so now that works. Okay, now we're going to use unsafe code. Now, by the way, let's try that again with a long string. Remember, this is what you did before. Here we defined a string equals short. So you might imagine it only makes room for 5 or 6 letters in that string. But if you run it, and then you put in a long string, it just works fine. It says you said that. It doesn't crash. It doesn't show a segmentation fault or any of that stuff. So this language, even though it's a variant of C, it is not vulnerable to string buffer overflows. So it is a more modern language like Java and Python, where obviously it automatically resizes the stored data as needed. You can, however, create a string buffer overflow if you try hard. And the way you do it is you put in unsafe. The unsafe word means this function is written in good old-fashioned C that defines only 10 spaces for the character, and then we'll really have a buffer overflow if it's longer than that. So you can try to build it, and we won't let you build it unless you allow the unsafe code. So you have to go Project Properties, and in Build General, allow unsafe code. So it's Project Properties, and then build, general, and somewhere in here is going to be the option to allow unsafe code. There it is, allow code that uses the unsafe keyword to compile. That's not the default, which is good. It shouldn't be. All right. And now just run it. It builds. And it runs. And now, if I put in short things, it works. But if I put in long things, it should crash. And there we are. There's a crash. Exited with a code. So it did have some degree of a crash. And that's the point. So you can have a buffer overflow if you try hard. All right. So now we're going to make a visual app. So File, New Project, create a new project. And now I want this one, Windows Form App, to make a graphic project. So File, New Project. It's not responding. Okay, File, New Project. Okay. And I want Windows Form App. Windows Forms app. Okay. .NET, that looks like the one. All right. And again, I don't care the default name, and the default version is fine. Okay, and now, waiting for IntelliSense to finish initializing. Hopefully that loading the designer, good. There we are. Now I have a visible form app here. And now you build things of the graphical elements. So I have to get the toolbox to appear, which is View Toolbox. And then I can drag things onto the screen. So it's View Toolbox. All right, and now it's drag a label and a text box and a button. So I need a label and a text box and a button. There. And the label should be password. Okay. I double-clicked, which went somewhere bad. And now I don't know how to get back to the graphical view. View designer, perhaps? Okay, good. So I wanted to change the label there. I guess I have to go to properties now. If I'd labeled it right away, I'd be able to just type in the name. But now that I've done this, I'm going to have to go to properties down here. And there it is, text. I can change it here. I couldn't figure out how to do it right there. I can make this into enter password, a password. Okay. All right. Good. And now I can do the same thing here. I can find the text. Properties of the button. There it is, text. And I can change that to enter. Okay. So now I've got an enter button and a place to put the password. Now I just need to put logic in the code for the button. So I double click the button and put in this code. There. That's the code. When the button will click, it's going to open up a message box seeing whether I've entered the correct password or not. So if I run this, I should have my password guessing game. Okay, there it is. So if I put a password of Q and enter, it says fail. But if I put the right password, which is top secret, and enter, it says win. So now I've made a simple game, and now I can save it, stop debugging, and then build. So it's debug, stop debugging, okay. And now select build in the show output from box. Okay, from debug show output from build, okay? And now you'll see where it is. And this is a huge problem in Windows, also modern operating systems. Everything's always hidden many, many folders deep, and it's hard to find. Here's where it is: student, source, repos, WinForm apps, WinForm app 3, and so on. Now there's the path. So navigate to there, and you'll find the exe you just built. So it is an executable file, and so if I go here, I should be able to navigate to that location and find it. It's my home folder, which is, this is some kind of home container, which isn't really the folder. Microsoft makes it hard to find the real thing. C users, student, then repos. Well, maybe it's not repos, thought it was. It's source repos, okay. Source, repos, and the latest one, WinForm apps 3, and WinForm apps 3, and bin, and then debug, and then net8, and finally down here is the actual executable file. So, you know, it's there, it's just pretty painful to find. So you can now compile things and make .NET executables. And that's what I wanted to show you for this one. So let me stop this recording.